Now I just realized that, sorry, I did not actually reply to the objection itself. I did not reply to the very objection that some people deny getting their morals from dinner party conversations and congressional votes, and they're not being dishonest, or they will at least get them from some equivalent of these entities. I did not really reply to that very objection, but I still gave an argument that uh, I still gave an objection, another objection to the argument that we get our moral values from Supreme Court decisions and so on. Um, and this objection cannot be saved or cannot be remedied by the claim that, well, then at least these people get their morals from some equivalent. I gave an example where can be pretty sure that there is no equivalent, there is no moral authority, no Supreme Court decision, there is no dinner party conversation result. There is not even a mafia boss giving its moral values, or some kind of football coach who has some type of new revolutionary view about morals, or some even an old moral standard. And this example would be the example of a newspaper editor who is about to shift the moral zeitgeist. So he has the morals he presents. More often than not, this is also, well, there is some problem of the ad hominem tu quoque fallacy here. Someone who is immoral can still give moral recommendations, but even if the editor does not lead by example, does not give does not adhere to the morals he presents, even then there is something new that comes into being, some new moral zeitgeist appears on the world stage, on people's world stage, but there is no previous thing where this moral sentiment may have been derived from. But then now to the second argument, that Dawkins is wrong here. The second argument that might show, or that might convince someone that Dawkins is wrong here. Morals, this is the David Hume's favorite argument. Morals do have some causal power. If you see someone committing an unjust or an immoral thing, then you want to prevent that from happening. You want to stop him doing that. You want to prevent other people from doing that. You want to stop the action. This is the Hume's moral sting inside your breast. Hume's moral sentiment within you. That also explains the causal power in a way. But if morals are derived from just dinner party conversations, from congressional votes, and from Supreme Court decisions and newspaper editorials, how can they have such a strong causal power? This would be the argument here. How can this moral stinging, this desire to prevent the bad guy from doing the bad stuff? I won't go into any controversial examples here. If I take stealing, I'd have a problem with Proudhonians, with property as theft and so on. But the bad guy, whatever, no practical ethics here. But if you see the bad guy, you want to prevent him from doing bad stuff. This moral incentive within you. How can this be explained by dinner party conversations results and so on. They have no causal, or at least not such a strong causal influence as that. Well, there is of course the obvious objection that, well, they may indirectly have that causal influence through sanctions, through police, through justice, etc. People are afraid that they will be condemned by a judge for not preventing evil, or at least, well, maybe well, there may be some actions that you are obliged to report, or at least, well, they may be sanctioned by the people around them if they don't reduce evil, if they show no incentive, show no attempt at preventing evil, then their neighbors, their nearest and dearest, will have a negative feeling about them, will not look at them anymore, and so on. There might be some indirect causal power that explains this moral stinging inside yourself. Or one could also object that, yes, let me present that objection. You might also object the morals do come from the dinner party conversation results, from the Supreme Court decisions, from newspaper editorials or the Congress votes. From there the morals come, and then the sting comes from the morals. But then I'd like to immediately reply to this objection. Well, then the problem somehow persists, because the morals that come from the dinner party conversations, they are still in a way very abstract, and you still have some trouble explaining where from these abstract morals comes this stinging. Maybe it might have something to do with a kind of computer program in your head that gets active when you observe some. You are in a way trained. You are what's this Pavlov thing? You are conditioned to react in a moral way. You are conditioned to dislike the bad guy, to do stuff that prevents the bad guy from doing his things. You are conditioned in that direction. But then even then I might still want to ask, how did this moral stinging evolve? How did we start coping or coping with these sanctions with the police, or how did we start to install, to establish these institutions that sanction us, or that approve or enact these moral feelings? Isn't it just an entirely arbitrary thing? If the sanctions, the police, the justice, this might be completely arbitrary, and they may want to decide to do very weird things, but they still somehow are in line with the moral stinging inside of us. And so I think somehow this inside perspective of us, this moral stinging, could be the primary mover, the primary installer of these things. If it's the other way around, then I do not see how this sanction system, the police and justice system, I don't want to justify the current justice system or police system in any way. Not everything is good about that. There is still torture in them, in many states' polices and so on. But at least as a direction, it is somehow in line with that. The moral stinging inside us is somehow in line with what the sanction system makes possible. So this would be the second argument. I go on in a third part.